Welcome everyone to another JoJo video. As you can probably tell, I'm wearing the same outfit. That's because I recorded this videos same day. Now, the pen is still here, obviously, because it's been like less than 4 minutes since I decided to film this video, but here we are. I want to talk about something. Romance literature. I love romance. I do. I am a romantic, okay? I love romance. I love it when people are in love. I love seeing relationships flourish. I have not had that much luck, but it's okay. I don't need the luck. I need the feeling, the thought, the imagining, the interpretation, the passion. I have, always had a knack for reading. I just love to read. Lately, watching media has been like the source of most of my romance, but I have taken back up the reading, and that has been thanks to two series mainly. We have The Pitt. This is The Pitt right here. I think you probably know it because it's been everywhere. But I love The Pitt. The Pitt is a series that is based on like one shift, one single day, and it's like 15 hours. The first season is 15 hours, I don't know, but the second, because it's currently, in the process of being aired. But the first season, it's 15 hours of a shift, and everything fucking happens on that shift. They also show you some of the backstories of the characters while in that letting you know things that happen. And I started watching The Pit for the reason that you might think. A ship. I had a bit of a Freudian slip earlier, so I love The Pit. I had watched, obviously, Grey's Anatomy. Who hasn't watched it in this day and age? But I watched Grey's Anatomy. I have watched House. I've watched ER. Actually, I knew Noah Wiley before. I am in the process of watching Scrubs right now as well. I love medical drama. They are so fun. I love them so much. I once thought of becoming a pediatric nurse, and no, a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor. But then I decided, you know what? I like words more than, healing people. So let's just do my actual passions, girl. In any case, after reading all of those things and being like, oh my god, I love medical drama, and I saw The Pit, and I was like, yeah, so I got an HBO Max subscription because of Heated Rivalry, which is something we're going to talk about later. So I decided to watch The Pit, and I watched The Pit in one day. Don't know what that says about me, but I enjoyed it so much. I started watching it because of the ship Huckleberry. Now, I know. I'm just a girl, though. I started watching it because of that. However, my favorite ship is Dr. Garcia and Dr. Santos. I love my lesbians. And I love the fact that it is canon, because when I read my fan fiction, which I read a lot of, when I read my fan fiction, I really am irked, unless it's like an AU, like an alternative universe. I'm really bothered when things are not canon. And you know what The Pit is really good at doing, fandom-wise? It's the fact that The Pit is just being so absolutely capable of bringing back shipping characters that have never interacted in the show. You cannot tell me that that Whittaker and Robbie were not written as like mentor-mentee relationship. But we have, switched it a little bit. And I really like the fact that there's a whole universe. Because they both, Noah Wiley and Garen Howell, they both have movies in which they are in a farm. So they're making like mashups of the two movies, making it seem as they're together. And there's one of the fanfics called The Overs. I will put it here, I think. That is really good at making this. I think the author, which I will put right here, is making like TikTok edits for every chapter that they upload, and it is so good. Fun fact, it was published on my birthday, so that means something. I really enjoyed the overs. It's so good. And I've written, not written, read. I've read. I've read a lot of fanfics with Huckleberry, just Santos and Garcia. What their domestic life might look like, things like that. Because I love me some lesbians. I love the Pit. It has gotten me that I need to read fanfic again. So it's gotten me back to my 15-year-old self, which I love so very much. So I'm very happy for the Pit. Now, I did mention Heated Rivalry before. You freak, I know what you're thinking. It's not like that. It's not like that. I started watching it because I was on Twitter and these two men, Connor Story and Hudson Williams, they wouldn't stop appearing in my timeline. I was like, who are these people? Who are these people? Like, I was on my phone just, what? And I talked to my brother. I was like, have you heard about this Heated Rivalry thing? My brother is a, gay man, so he had heard. He had watched it as well. And I was like, what the fuck? Why hadn't I known that this existed? Heated Rivalry opened up so many doors for me. It opened up my creativity because I was able to read again. Because I read the whole saga. 1 month, by the way. Starting with Game Changers. Then I read Heated Rivalry, The Long Game. Every single story in that universe. Absolutely loved it. People are saying or criticizing Rachel Reed, the writer of the books, because her writing is very simple. But sometimes you don't need a very complicated book. You know what I mean? I think we are brain rotted already from, TikTok, Twitter, all of these like very quick media sources that sometimes you just need to be able to detox yourself. And for me, that detox looked like reading, the whole saga of Heated Rivalry. I watched the series in like 1 day as well. 2 days, actually. I watched it in 2 days. It was so good for my soul. Oh man, I loved it. I loved it so much. And I didn't love it because of the sex, which I know, they're doing it a lot. But honestly, I could just like skip it if it wasn't because they had so much chemistry. But it's not like the main plot for me. I like the series because it talks a lot about the experience of someone who is queer in a space, an environment that they cannot be out in. It's something that filled me with absolute fucking rage while I was watching it, but it also made me cry, sob, because I loved the characters so much. I saw myself in both of them, in the way they deal with things, in the way they interact with one another, in the way they are so afraid of being themselves when, oh my goodness, you are so loved. And Heated Rivalry for me was all of that. And it really makes me a little bit confused on why the fandom, if you can call it that, are just being so very weird towards some of the, actors or the characters, or just meddling in their lives like this was a K-pop group. They're people who, like, 9 months ago were just waiting at tables and you could have found them just like, hey, can you make me a smoothie? Like, they're you and me. And they got the rise to fame, which I'm so glad because they deserve. But, like, don't judge their every move, dude. They're just famous people. Famous people don't owe you anything. Same way that you don't owe anything to the famous people, okay? You can follow and follow whoever you want. You don't have to feel pity if they fall from grace. They should have saved up money, I guess, What I'm saying is, stop being weird. They're people. And it really bothers me because we could have, had so much more content that really got me through tough times and, made me happy. So, I'm not blaming anyone. But I am. Anyway, yes. Fandom culture. Pretty much alive in both of these things. And I think it's beautiful when some of the fandoms intersect. I have seen a lot of, like, TikTok edits or videos of, like, the Pit being the actual hospital where they hold Shane when he gets, run over a little bit. And Ilya's like, hi. And Whittaker's like, hey. And just full of pee. Or Pepto-Bismol. we love to see it. We love to see it. They're making me happy, and I really enjoy romance. I have been reading, because I rescued my Kindle from oblivion, and I have been reading a lot of books in there that are also not very hard to read. But what I was saying, you don't have to always read something that is very challenging. Sometimes it's just good to detox yourself from like screens and read something that you know you actually can upkeep and you're interested in, than making yourself read Tolstoy. We have all read Tolstoy, I think, like War and Peace. Is that from Tolstoy? I don't really know. But like Russian literature in general, they're often very slow paced, and not in a burn yearn way, but just very slow. Which is good because you get to familiarize yourself with the characters, imagine a lot more of their things, but sometimes the descriptions or the translations that are made of the descriptions, because I cannot really know. I don't know Russian. Spasiba. I don't know Russian, but I know a lot of other languages, which is good, I guess. I just like to read in English mostly, or in Spanish. Reading in English is just easier because it's usually an easier read for me, which is good because it's what I want. Sometimes when I'm in a reading slump, what I do is just read a book that is simple, that just narrates a story, that doesn't make you think of the meaning of the word to be able to decipher what is going on. Sometimes you just need to see that the car is blue. You don't need to see that the carriage that was carrying the princess in a modernized environment happened to reflect the color of the stars. The stars. Yeah. Anyway, shout out to the pet, shout out to Heated Rivalry, and this is why I think that it is very important that you read something that is a bit, easy, silly, fantastic. Because I personally enjoy that very much. Now, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and I swear to God that I will try to publish a little bit more. I don't know if you care or you don't, but I love you so very much.